This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks, and I need to change the title of my show here. I'm going to change the title to it, but the Knicks won last night versus the Milwaukee Bucks in a blowout fashion. But I'm still wondering what the identity of this Knicks team is. Ron, what's going on, man?
What's happening, Sim? Always a pleasure. I'm right with you. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. We knew what the identity was in the past, right? We knew that the Knicks were a gritty, grinded out type of basketball team. They're going to battle you tooth and nail. This team, I think they have elements of that, but I don't know if they're exactly that team. But there's elements there, right? Elements of a team that can grind it out. Elements of a team that's going to battle you tooth and nail as soon as you step on the court. You know you're going home with bruises. But is that going to be the identity of this team? Because I don't know if this team is constructed that way.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to say because they still have the core pieces that can bring that type of intensity and tenacity to a game, but right. they've got some pieces that weren't here, and so whether or not, I mean, they can buy into it, but it's a little different. It is a little different, and I think we're already seeing firsthand that there's going to be some growing pains, right? To see what that becomes. What I think the Knicks need is one of them really good basketball games against a team that really pushes them and kind of gets under their skin a little bit, like bring out that fire.
Right. Do we have the players that have that fire though? That I mean, listen. I don't want to keep going back and harping on it, but we have to not harp on it, but talk about it because the team changed so drastically during the offseason. Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo kind of brought some of that grit to the team, so now you kind of trade them out now for Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns, who theoretically are upgrades as far as players are concerned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mikal Bridges is, taller than Dante DiVincenzo. He's had so far, a little bit more of an accomplished career than Dante DiVincenzo in the league. Karl-Anthony Towns, 7-footer, knock down threes, an all-pro guy. So was Julius Randle. So you traded those two guys out for Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, who are maybe a little bit more finesse than Randle and DiVincenzo. Right?
Yeah.
Finesse in play as well as in character, I think. Right? I think DiVincenzo was an in-your-face type of guy, going to, talk some trash. Mikal Bridges maybe does a little bit, but not like, I don't know. It's not what DiVincenzo was. And then, Julius Randle, Julius Randle kind of brought the bad guy persona to the team.
Right.
Which Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't exactly bring that persona to the team. He's a little bit more, I don't know what to say yet. Right?
It's still trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, still trying to figure it out. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out I guess maybe the team is trying to figure out what they are. Right? Ellie Dominant said the fire is there. It's finding the sweet spot, that rhythm.
Yeah.
I do think that fire is there. There's definitely some fire. I don't know if it's the same fire, but there's some fire. George Jones said that Bridges is a lot more gritty than Dante on the court. You agree with that, Ron?
No. Not from what I saw from Dante last year. I mean, Dante was like Dante was a firecracker, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
don't see Bridges being more gritty than Dante. A better defender, maybe, but he's not more gritty than Dante.
Yeah, I think the thing with Dante is just that it took him a little while. Like, I mean, this is an interesting point, right? Like, because if you guys remember when Dante came here to start the season, Dante didn't look that great. You know, right. Dante was missing layups, you know what I mean? Like easy layups, and he just didn't find his comfort zone yet. Yet we know how he finished the season, right? So I think that bodes well for Dante in real life with Minnesota, but it also bodes well for the Knicks. Like, this has only been 8 games, and Mikal is still trying to get his feet wet and get comfortable in this offense and what he likes to do. And I think he'll get there. But I also think that I don't remember if it was a regular season game or it was a preseason game. One of these games, Mikal was talking. I forgot which team it was, but somebody got him out of his, he was talking a little bit. He was working. He was doing some things.
Yeah. I agree. I remember that. I agree. I just don't think he has that tough guy persona.
No, I think he's a nice guy. Right? I think he's a good guy.
Where Dante kind of had that tough guy attitude a little bit. Whether or not he is or isn't tough, he kind of had that tough guy attitude. We all know about Julius Randle, Karl-Anthony Towns. I said it the other night with Tony. People aren't afraid of Karl-Anthony. Oh, you are. I think you are.
I was there too. Yeah.
People aren't afraid of Karl-Anthony Towns, and that becomes an issue a little bit in the league, I think. Because people think they could punk him, and I don't know. One of these times, he may have to do what what's his name did over there in Denver. You know what I'm talking about?
Jokic.
Mm-hmm. You remember Jokic kind of got sick of it. It started throwing elbows in guys' backs and knocking them to the ground and doing things like that. Karl-Anthony Towns may have to. I'm not saying sneak anybody from the back, but he may need to do something to prove that he's tough at some point.
I mean,
point in time, because I think people aren't afraid of him.
It depends on what happens. I guess it's all situational when it comes to that stuff, because I think that Karl-Anthony Towns that we saw versus Embiid that time, that's the guy that people will be a little bit more wary about, because he wasn't playing that time against Embiid.
Yeah.
But I think it takes a lot to bring that out of him, though.
Right. And I think Jalen Brunson is going to have to he's got it in him. There's no doubt about it. He's going to have to get a little nasty, I think. Not just with the opposing team, but also with his own players. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have to be the voice. I don't mean nasty like disrespecting them, but I think he's gonna have to be the guy. I'm not sure if this team has the guy that's going to get mad at his teammates if they do something wrong. Address them if they do something wrong, on the spot, on the court, or otherwise. I think Jalen Brunson has to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think you may be right with regards to that. But I just think that it's one of those where the team has to take on the identity of being a little bit more gritty. I think Josh Hart is starting to show a little bit more of it each game, because that's just who he is. And I think the team needs to adopt more of that. I think we only, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I only saw that little bit of grit and anger come out of Jalen Brunson one game. That was the game versus Indiana where we beat them, and he intentionally was trying to let these dudes get this dude off me and all this stuff. Like, he was saying stuff in that game. I think that might be something they're missing. I mean, but it could be, I mean, unfortunately, we don't know what their identity is, but we got used to that, and it also showed, it gave the Knicks a good identity too. It's one of those never say die, all heart no quit type teams, right. And so I would hope they continue to develop and keep some of that, but I'm not sure. You know, with guys like Mikal and Cat, it may be far gone. Like, they just, they changed the dynamic. So I don't know, but it was nice to have, though.
Yeah. Uncle Fulio said the tough guy mentality has not gotten the Knicks any championships. No mentality has gotten the Knicks any championships in the past, however many years, almost 50 years. No mentality has. The closest they've come in the millennium, it was with a tough guy mentality. So I don't think we're saying that they got to be this tough guy team that they were last year. We're just asking what the identity is, that they're not that tough guy team. So that identity is different, right? He also said we don't need Towns to be the tough guy. Boston does not have a tough guy. We're not Boston either. We're not as talented as Boston, in my opinion. Offensively, we're not as talented as Boston. And maybe some people will argue differently. I don't think we're as talented as Boston is offensively. When you're as talented as they are offensively, with guys like Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown. I mean, you got Drew Holiday, who's talented offensively. You may not need that element. If you're not as talented, then you might need some other elements to get you over the hump. You know what I'm saying? Do you think we're as talented as Boston offensively?
Not right now, but I think we could be. I guess because I'm more surprised at how good we have been in shooting the 3-point shot. I wasn't really expecting us to be this good. Now, it's a short window of time. It's only 8 games, but I'm shocked. I mean, we're 3rd in 3-point percentage, and I thought we would be better, but I didn't think we'd be this good. So it kind of points to the fact that we're watching Cat, when he gets the ball and gets the touches, pretty much get whatever he wants out there. And if he can do that and continue to kind of keep that up, which is a tall order, Jalen Brunson has pretty much struggled all season. So we're not even getting the best out of Jalen. We're getting a mixed bag from OG and Mikal. But, any given night, either one of them can get hot and really add a good compliment to the team. And then we're not really getting that much from the bench. We got Deuce, and right now with everybody being hurt, you're not getting a lot out of the bench. If we can get Campaign back and eventually get a Landry Shamet here, and whoever else can contribute, whether, going down the line, I think we actually could be as potent as them offensively, but it's the sum of all parts. We need like everything to kind of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they have talented individual players.
Yeah.
They have chemistry. I'm not saying they don't have chemistry, but they have talented individual players along with chemistry. Right. I don't think we have chemistry. Could we get to that point where as a team we're just as potent? I think so. Do we have the one-on-one guys they have? I don't think we have the one-on-one guys they have.
No.
And I think that does make a difference. Because like questions coming into the season, people were questioning, do the Knicks have the one-on-one guys that can finish the game for you, right? The last 2 minutes of the game, 3 minutes of the game, and whatever. We're still seeing. Still figuring that out. I think I do think Karl-Anthony, from what I've seen though, I see glimpses of a little nastiness here and there. And I think the more being in New York, there's going to be a little bit more pressure. Guys are going to come at the team a little bit harder because the whole New York thing, playing in the Garden, etc. Everyone brings their best. So maybe that's gonna bring that. Maybe it's gonna bring that toughness. I don't want to say toughness, the nastiness out of Cat.
Right. Right.
I think Brunson needs to lead the charge, but maybe it'll bring a little bit of that nastiness out of Cat. Because when I think about what the identity of this team should be, I think it needs to be a mixture of finesse and a little nastiness, which is great. Do we have the guys to bring that nastiness? I don't know. I think Jalen Brunson has it in him, though.
Mm-hmm.
On the said, same like I was saying earlier, Tehran, I believe JB might still be hurt from the hand injury. But when he hurt his knee, the first couple of games in the season, he seems to be a little slow. That could be. That could be. I think with the team, there's just a lot of thinking going on. Figuring out what's happening, figuring out the best way for the team to play. I think they're trying to figure out their identity as well. Because everyone is so new. So,
Right.
they're trying to figure out what's going on and what's going to be the best way for them to play. The good thing is that Karl-Anthony Towns is what, 28?
Yeah. 28 is going to be 29, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson's like 26. I mean, everyone's young. So you have some years for the team to grow and start to really build that identity, which is exactly, perfect. That's a perfect situation, a perfect scenario. What did you take from last night's win against Milwaukee, though? I mean, they demolished Milwaukee last night.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
I mean, I kind of prefaced it on my show earlier. I let everybody know I don't want to be negative. I'm not trying to be, I don't want to, rain on the parade. But it goes back to kind of what we were talking about prior, knowing that Milwaukee was coming up. And, quite frankly, Milwaukee is just a slower footed team. They're older. They don't have that same level of explosiveness and athleticism
right.
that we were dealing with when we faced Atlanta or Houston. So I kind of felt like the Knicks would be in a good position to win the game against them. I didn't know we were going to play that well against them, but I'm not surprised because of just the different type of style of play and the personnel that they got. So in watching the game and how good we were, we out rebounded them, we out assisted them. I mean, really nicely, 35-20. We had less turnovers than them. Like we didn't even have double digit turnovers. We played really good. I just look at it like, okay, it's a step, but it doesn't show me anything yet. I need to see the Knicks against a similar matchup to the ones that just gave us problems recently. And then I'll know if we change something or if we, right the ship, like they say. I couldn't say it yet. But I was happy with the victory.
Yeah. The Knicks needed the victory, right? We were, a game below 500. The victory brought us back to being 500. What now? 4-4 on the season. Needed to get a win. Milwaukee, right now, what are they? 2-7 on the season.
Yeah. Now they're 2-7. Yeah.
Not a good basketball team at the moment. So the Knicks definitely needed to win this basketball game, and they were able to pull out the win. In a blowout fashion, and hopefully this is gonna spur them forward. You know what I mean? And they can build upon it. They play Indiana tomorrow, 5 p.m. That should be a good basketball game, fun basketball game. One of the Knicks rivals. See if we can build upon that. And we had a 500. Have we had a winning record yet this season?
It was very short lived.
Maybe 3-2.
We were 3-2.
Okay, yeah, because we had a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, we were 3-2. Let's see if we can get on the winning side of the record and then extend it from there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the pressure is going to mount. It's not going to stop mounting. The pressure is going to mount for this basketball team as time goes on. Fans want to see a winner. We made all these trades. We traded away big pieces of our team, fans want to see a winner. You know what I'm saying? Now, not later. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. In the end, because this was only supposed to be a short show, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, my laptop is, for whatever reason, running out of power. So if you see me go, the laptop went. I don't know what happened. I got it plugged in, but it's not giving me the power that I expected to give me. In the end, though, what do you think? In the end, what is the identity of this basketball team? Do you think will end up being the identity of this team?
I would hope that if we were healthy, fully healthy, we could be more of a run and gun type team that and I say that in the loosest sense of the word, that can push the pace on teams to give them a little different look. But really, we're a half-court team. We're just disguising it by how we play a little bit. Right now I know that's tough because we play basically an 8-man rotation. It's too taxing on the guys. But I would hope when we get healthy, we can do that a little bit. We got some youth on this team. Might as well try to get a guy like Deuce out in the open floor with a Mikal Bridges, with Josh Hart, however we can kind of get up and down a little bit. And I think that's going to put pressure on the defense and allow for the Knicks to get into their sets and stuff better. Because right now, when you're just a half court, offense, teams can just prepare for you.
Yeah. The issue, I think we're going to continue to be a half court offense. I do.
Probably.
I think I don't know, in that starting lineup, I guess I'd say I don't know if we're built to run. Yeah, I don't know if we're built to run in that starting lineup. Jalen Brunson, for the most part, is a half-court guy. Karl-Anthony Towns is a half-court guy. I think Mikal Bridges can get out and go. Josh Hart can get out and go. I don't know. I think we're kind of a OG, kind of a half-court guy, I think. The thing about Bridges and Josh Hart, well, Josh Hart can get the ball and go. Bridges, he's still playing kind of tentative. So I guess we have to see what happens with Bridges, but he's still playing tentative. And so there's a lot of time for things to develop. As he gets more confident with the team and more confident in himself, not confident, but confident in himself as far as being part of the team and what the team does, then I think, maybe we'll see more of what he can do. His game will start to open up. And then maybe if him and Josh Hart can push the ball some, that's going to be, that'll be key because, Karl-Anthony Towns is showing himself right now to be a really, really good rebounder. If he can gobble up rebounds, get the ball out to, Bridges or Brunson or Hart, and we can start to push the pace, that's going to be the best. That's going to be big for this team because now we can get quick, early points, save our energy so that when we do have to play that half-court game, we can take advantage of mismatches that we'll have at half-court without being tired all the time, or without it always being ground and pound because we are getting some easy transition buckets. I don't know. I'm hoping. I think in the end, we're going to end up being a half-court team that does play defense, a half-court team that can play with finesse. I think we're going to end up being that as far as an identity is concerned. I'm also afraid that our identity is going to become that we don't have enough closers. Well, Brunson, I'm still waiting to see if Cat is going to be a closer for us. I'm a little afraid of that.
I think that, Cat's a little dangerous with the closer stuff. I actually think that the Knicks really have to work on getting Mikal Bridges as comfortable as possible. I think Mikal's got to be that guy because his mid-range game is pretty good. And I found it wild that he said he's really comfortable shooting that little mid-range fall away shot that he's like leaning, and he likes that shot. If you like shooting shots like that and can hit shots like that, then he's might be a guy we got to really focus on making sure he's getting that down. When we need a bucket, we can not just go to just Jalen Brunson. Like, we can get him involved, because if he can get to them spots, which he seems to be able to do, I think that's a high percentage shot that might benefit us. We need, and especially playoff time, we're gonna need them too. So
yeah. I don't know. There's a lot to watch as this team develops and things unfold throughout the season. It's gonna be interesting to see what this team becomes. I still do believe that once we get fully healthy, we'll have the elements of Eastern Conference contender. Do we have enough to be an NBA champion contender? So, Ron, what do you think? Just from what we've seen right now, and I know it's just 8 games into the season, do we have enough on the team to be a championship contender? Eastern Conference, I'm positive we will be.
no, not yet. I got to see more to feel like we got enough, because I just don't like the fact that we giving up points in the paint and on the perimeter. I don't like that. It was usually 1 or 2, but not both. Like, so until we shore up some of our defense, I'm not ready to say that comfortably yet. And what worries me is some might say, okay, well, we'll get Precious back, and whatever. Landry Shamet might come back later. Okay, if he does, he does. And then eventually we'll get Mitch. But I'm going to have to be in the mindset that we don't have Mitch. And even if we get Mitch back, we don't got Mitch. So, and that's how I got to look at this team. This is like a team without Mitch. That's how I got to look at it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see where things go with this basketball team. We're just about halfway through. Tom Thibodeau always has that 20-game mark where he starts to make changes, right? We're just about halfway through. I don't know what changes he could actually look at to make it right now, because we don't have so many players that we don't have, to really consider what changes you would make. The only change that we talked about before was, this Precious going to the starting lineup, and Josh Hart go to the bench, gives a little bit more length in that starting lineup, protection in that starting lineup. That could be a possibility, but we got to see what Precious is looking like when he comes back.
Being that you brought up changes and how we know Tibbs does make some changes, somebody brought up a change on my show earlier that I didn't really think about. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think Tibbs would do it right now, but if he did, I could see how they can make it work. Sending Mikal to the bench and having him run with the bench guys, and allowing somebody with a different dynamic of a game. I don't know, could it be a Deuce or somebody, or even if they decided to keep Josh Hart in the starting lineup and put Precious in there, but not moving Josh Hart like most of us would think he would do, and just moving Mikal to the second unit, so that way it allows. This is kind of the conversation that happened last year that I wasn't really in favor of on the flip side, but it worked out, which was moving Dante from the bench to the starting lineup. So this would be the reverse of putting Mikal on the bench, so that Mikal has an opportunity to be out there and get his buckets and his baskets and get comfortable in the flow of the game.
I think politics are going to prevent that.
That's what I thought too.
Politics are preventing that from happening, without a doubt. There's no way you trade all those draft picks for Mikal Bridges and he's coming off the bench. I can't see it.
And I think Dante would throw a fit, man. There'd be spaghetti sauce all over the place. You mean
goodness.
to tell me what? Y'all traded me and I could have started?
Oh my goodness. That would be something. That would be that'd be. But he can still play minutes. He plays minutes with the bench now, right? He can still play minutes with the bench. Maybe some extended minutes with the bench, to allow him that freedom to just kind of see. Like, even when I've seen him out there with the bench, the campaign is in the game with him. Campaign is taking shots. Not that we don't want him to take shots, but does he have that mentality? And does he have that mentality that, okay, I'm out here with I'm the best player on the floor out here? Or does he have the mentality, oh, I'm still going to play in the system, which we want him to play in the system, but we also want him to feel like he's the best guy. So, things get tough. Give me the ball. I'm going to go get a bucket, right? I don't know if he has that kind of mentality. I feel like he is a system player. Just a very, very high level system player, but I feel like he's a system player. And he's not going to break out of that to go get his own very much. And sometimes, Dante had the mentality of, not a system player, right? He'll go get his. I feel like Bridges is more of a system player, so I don't know if. I think being out there with the second unit because of the talent that's on the floor, the ball's going to gravitate towards him regardless. But I don't know if he has the mentality of, okay, now it's time for me to go get mine.
I question it, Sim. I question it. I know other people. I mean, I'm one of those. Maybe I'm a little bit more harsh when it comes to the offensive skill set of Mikal Bridges. I think he can do a lot of different things out there. But I was saying earlier that I think a lot of that is the benefit of necessity. You know what I mean? Being the first option on a team that doesn't have many options puts you in a position to take more shots, create more for yourself, and basically take on a different role that we're not used to seeing him do, because he wasn't doing that in Phoenix. He's not doing it currently with the Knicks, who have more options. So I just don't think you're going to see. I don't think you can really see that level from Bridges unless he's in that position, because it creates more opportunities for him to get flowing. And I just don't see him really getting that comfortable. But, anything can happen. And I guess with injuries and possible rest opportunities, you might see him have to be a bigger focal point. But I just don't see it right now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing is just him having the mindset to be the focal, to be the focal guy. I just don't know.
Well, you never know. I mean, listen, we never knew Dante could do it until Dante did it, right?
That's true. And Dante has that mindset. I don't know. We're still learning the mindset of this team. You know what I mean? And everything can't be kumbaya in the locker room. That's another thing that I get afraid of, is that everything is kumbaya with everyone. I think Tom Thibodeau said it a couple of years ago. You got to have enough tension on the team, right? You've got to have some tension. Not so much tension that you can't win, you can't be successful. But I think you got to have some tension so that the team stays on edge, right? And then they bring that edge to the game. If everyone is Mr. Nice Guy, where's the edge come from? Who brings the edge? You know what I'm saying? Who brings the edge if everyone is Mr. Nice Guy on the team? Someone's got to have some kind of edge, to keep the team a little bit edgy.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I miss Dante. I do miss him.
Right. Vaughn Allen said, even tensions to slap laptops. Yep. Even tensions to slap laptops. That laptop out my face.
I mean, but that's okay. He's coming back. Sim, after this year, he's coming back to the Knicks, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Crazy. That'd be crazy. Now let me tell you what. If you had Julius Randle and Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges, and OG, wow, that'd be crazy. But
I'll worry about that interior defense, but it would be nice. It would be nice offensively. We could do some things.
Yeah, I mean, rebounding, we gobble up every rebound.
That's true.
We'd have a little edge. I mean, that would be a tough team to stop. Tough team to stop right there. That would be something.
Quietly, I thought that there was a chance that something like crazy like that could happen. I mean, you let Mitchell Robinson go, you let a couple other people. You never know where money come from. Huh?
It would have been nice to figure out a way to do that, and still have Dante there too. Wow, if you could have figured that out, but you wouldn't have had enough money.
Right, that's
you wouldn't have enough players to trade that could make the money work.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody with a big salary was going to have to go in order to bring in Karl-Anthony. Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. Put it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what you think. What is the identity of this team? Well, obviously, we haven't developed it. What will be the identity of this team by the time we get to the end of the season? Will this team be a championship level team or just an Eastern Conference contender by the end of the season? I want to know what you think. There's a lot of pieces and moving parts with this basketball team. Over the first half of the season, if the Knicks can stay a few games above 500 or whatever, I think in the second half you'll see that, as they start to hit a groove, go on some winning streaks. And I still think it's a 51 team.
I think so too.
Just struggling now. It's early, chemistry, all that kind of stuff. But it's a 51 team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Tom. Why did I call you Tom? You're not Tom Thibodeau. Ron.
It's okay. You over there river dancing. You good. You good.
Right. I appreciate you jumping on with me. Obviously, you can see him. Everybody can see him in the studio. You want to see my studio, ladies and gentlemen, is actually blank. It's still home. I could hold on. Let me take this stuff. Let me take all of this stuff down. You see, my studio is just there, chilling right now. I can keep an eye on the home front to make sure nobody's in my studio playing around or doing anything they're not supposed to be doing. I have some expensive equipment, so I got to keep an eye on it at all times. But yeah, we got to do that sometimes. Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we get up out of here. Appreciate your time, Ron. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, just thanks for having me as always, Sim. Anytime, any place, any moment, I'm always there. If I can make it. Salute to everybody in the chat. I think once again, the bottom line is the Knicks team is fine. We'll be fine. We talk about our players because we want to understand who we are right now. Are we similar to that team, or will we be different? But it's a conversation we're going to have going forward, and I'm looking forward to see what we become. But stay tuned. It's going to be a fun, bumpy ride.
Yeah, not about that.
Oh, and check out Monday's show, Dexter Henry on SKF. It should be pretty dope.
Yeah, dope. Nice. No, yeah, that's dope. That's gonna be real dope. Knicks 100. The GM said, "Do I leave the power? I leave the power on." Yep, I do. Yep, I leave it on. So when I get there, when I step into the studio, I can just step in and start working. I don't have to switch on all kinds of stuff. Yep, I leave it on. Anyway, folks, we're up out of here. Appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. I will see you tomorrow before the game. I don't know about after the game. I'll definitely see you before the game. And if I don't see you after the game, then Tuesday, I'll make up for it. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
Peace out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.